Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning or good evening, wherever you are in the region. This is our first lab for TS208. If you're doing TS208 or TS216, this is our first lab that you're required to do. So where do I find the labs? You go into your Moodle page for either 216 or 208. Why I'm saying that is because some of you are doing TS208 alone, and some of you are doing TS216, and some of you are doing both units together concurrently. So if you're doing both units together, all you need to do is to submit one lab. You don't need to do twice, two. So when you've got your first lab, you just upload them in both Dropbox. So I'm just going to use 208 here. And where would you find the instruction sheet? Okay. So the first one is called the reservation form. And I'm going to just click onto this, and then you'll see the reservation form. All right. You see the instructions, and then you download this form. We'll go through it together so that I'll show you what are you required to do. All right. And here we got the form, and it's in a Word document. Okay. So this is the form. It's better if you print it out, or if it doesn't matter for you, you can always use let me just so that you can see it. All right. So here goes the it actually should be TS208. Sorry, not TS108. TS208 and TS216. Yeah. So whichever of you that are doing it as, yeah. Okay. So here, okay. So the objective of this exercise, the first one is to create a reservation, and the objective of the exercise is basically you got to read this memo that I've got in front of you here. This memo that is sent. You are the reservations agent of a hotel. You make up the hotel from what region. Were you in Solomon Islands? You can make it doesn't have to be an existing hotel. You are the reservation agent. Miss Helen Brown is the secretary for Mr. Clive Davis. He's the CEO, the chief executive officer. And normally in overseas, for corporate rates, the secretary makes the reservation for the boss. Yeah? So the company name is Riverside Company Limited, and they're sending the reservations to you, the reservations department, however they're faxing or telexing it or emailing it to you. All right. So this is for you to read through. The Moodle is due normally last year and previous years when I did these opera training. It's usually due on the Friday at the end of the week, but because we do it concurrently with print and blended and face-to-face students, this is all due on Friday the 13th. Okay, the Dropbox will close on Friday 13th of November, which is in a few weeks' time. Marks will also be allocated to creativity and presentation. Very, very important. Take heed of that. So what you do is you highlight. All right. So some things you want to highlight is they are booking. All right, and they're requesting for an executive suite. You see some clients, they like they request for the type of suite they want. It's 3 days and 3 nights. Okay, so it's the 16th night of the 16th, 17th, 18th, that's 3, and they check out on the 19th of 2021. Remember, it's next year, so they make a reservation for next year. So you obviously can see that Mr. Clive Davis he's coming on a work, so it's a work and holiday trip with his family and 2 children. Some other things that you'd like to, like I said to the students, so he's got specifications on his how old his children are, and one of his first requests or special requests is because he's being a 3-month-old baby, he requires a cot in the room. So which department do you think that is referring to? So basically that's with reference. So you've got to put housekeeping, Mr. Clive Davis, Mr. and Miss Clive Davis requesting a cot in the room. So these are things that are needed because prior to them arriving, the hotel needs to organize. So front office and reservation needs to organize that before they turn up, before they check into the hotel. So we highlight that as a different color because that's a different request. Another request. Also, she is allergic to peanuts. So if you could let the necessary people at the hotel know, Who are the necessary people? Who would be the necessary people? That would be all food and beverage outlets. So you send it to the food and beverage director, and he'll disseminate that information to everybody. Also, the food and beverage will also let the kitchen know, because the kitchen is actually the production area where they'll be cooking. So they could put peanut oil and all that. So they need to be aware. So the executive chef needs to be clearly aware of who's coming and what their allergic reactions. Remember, people overseas are allergic to different things, as like many of you are today. People are lactose intolerant, gluten intolerant. Okay, and during their stay, they would like a nanny. So they would like nanny service. Who's the department that would look after that? Yeah. So you look at all the areas. So nanny is normally looked after by housekeeping, sometime activities, and also front office has to follow up. So you can flag. So you put food and beverage. Mrs. Clive is allergic to peanuts. Please be aware and let all the necessary departments know. So all the outlets, housekeeping, front office, and activities, organized nanny service. You know, in hotels, the nanny service is about $10 to $15 now. Some hotels charge $20 an hour. Yeah, so you can see, and some hotels already have started training. And obviously, you know, in Fiji, I'm not saying it because I'm in Fiji, but most of our boom or the nannies in housekeeping are very good with children, because you know they look after their grandchildren, their children. So they're gifted, yeah. So I don't know how much is it in Vanuatu, Samoa, Tonga, etc. Mr. Davis also would like, so he makes another request that he'd like to conduct interviews. So you've got to organize that room, or you got to change, you know, because when they get an executive suite, you can change one room into an office, business office, or does he have a business center where he could use? These are his credit card details, very important one. And the reason why it's very, very important is because, okay, why is it important? Because once you enter these details in the reservations form, this becomes a confirmed and guaranteed reservation, because should they not arrive or they cancel the reservation within 24 hours, you can take the first night's accommodation, and I can make a manual payment, all right, of whatever the first night's accommodation. This is Mr. Clive's address, which you'll be filling in the form, and the confirmation number, and his address, and his email, and his email and phone number is hypothetical, so you can make that. Why you make up the confirmation number? Because generally when you put it into the computer generates that automatically. So it's basically taking all this information and putting it down on this form. Okay, here the form I've also attached it to. So listen, the first thing that you got to do is so this is the form. This is a skeleton form I've given to you. What I mean is that it's just an outline. You don't have to follow this. You don't have to. You can create your own. Many students on campus have created. Some have gone onto this, and it doesn't matter for me. All right. So the creativity part is here on the top, where you have to put your own logo. You have to design your own logo, your slogan. What goes on the logo? The www, your website of your hotel. Don't copy a hotel that's already existent. Create your own hotel. That's why it talks about creativity. You also have to put in your own physical address of the hotel. Where is it? In Rarotonga, in Tahiti, or in Samoa, Tonga, etc. Your phone number, your physical address, and your email. Okay, that goes all on the top here. You can put colors into it. Not the whole form, but just that. All right, and you can have. I've put this space, but your form can be a larger space. Eh? Like the logo can be like that much. That's up to you. It's all about creativity. And one of the students, my Korean student, said if I could change, he could change the font. I said, be really careful when you change the font, because it should be readable to you and to the guest. Right? But it's just a reservations form where you take all the information down. So just reiterating what I said in the beginning is the purpose of this exercise. So we're doing reservation this week. Next week we're doing check-in. The week after that we're doing hotel charges and amendments, adjustments, then check-out. Those are the 4 areas that we're looking at. So your ability and your competency to extract information from the memo I just showed you, and that'll be given. So it's better if you print out that memo and to put all that information here. All right. So guest name, check-in and check-out or expected time of arrival. ETA is expected time of arrival, and ETD. Normally you have that in hotels that are near to transit those are transit or near to airports, all right? Expected time of departure. That's very important, especially for their when they do a hotel turnover in terms of rooms turnover. Children, number of people, confirmation number. Remember, I said that hypothetically you have to make up that number and letters if you want. Special request. I talked about food and beverage, the allergic reactions, the nanny, who you organize that with, etc., etc. The type of room requested. Other requests could be like you wanted an office. Pay other details. He's a VIP guest, okay, because he's the manager, very high, high-end delegate for this conference. Payment details in Visa card. You can put your Visa, the card number there, or you click Visa there. No cash deposit because their Visa confirms it's a guaranteed reservation. Because remember that number you'll send back to them. All right, the confirmation number and payment details. Contact address is not your contact address; it's his contact address, which I just showed you up here on this that I've shaded here. Yeah, this is the contact address. All right, that's their contact address here, 3 Martinbird Street. Okay, that's the contact address. And so you make up the confirmation number and you make up their phone and email details because it wasn't put there. And then reservations taken by you. All right, very important, because if I'm your manager, I will want to know who took this reservation. If I wanted to amend the reservation, who was the one who amended it. All right, so very, very important. This is put into the computer system. All right, and I don't think you need questions, because if you do, let me know. But that's basically what this first. It should take you like at least half an hour to 45 minutes. Some students actually take, what you do is you can save it to your email if you haven't finished it, and then you upload it. All right, so don't upload this part, the theory part. All I want you to upload is this part here, the actual reservation form. That's all. And it tells you how to save it under what here on this part. All right, it tells you how to save it in the beginning. So follow the instructions well. Only this mainframe that you this form. Like I said, this is a skeleton one. It's entirely up to you how you want yours, how you need your form to look like. Okay, so some people have forms, they have a page or a book, etc. But this is you developing your own. So remember your style, your own hotel, and then you fill in the proper detail. That's all that's requested. All right. So get this done. It's on Word. All right. You can just take this and copy it on your soft copy and just work from it, or you can develop your own. So you can put the check-in. You can put it at different place formats, but these are the necessary information. All right. So there you go. That's your first lab. Your second lab, I will post that up on Wednesday, and then you can do it in your own time. It'll have the same due date. All the labs are due on the 13th of November, on the Fridays. You get to upload. But as soon as you upload, then I can allocate marks to you. All right? So you put the labs in the Dropbox, etc. Okay. Thank you. That's our first lab. On Wednesday, I'll put up the second lab, and then I think for 208 and 216 students, when I meet you, it'll be very brief, because this actually explains everything. And if you forget something, you can go back to the you can actually go back to the this recording is on YouTube, so you can go back to your recording and just listen to it again, because it's only about like 14 to 15 minutes. All right, so all the best with this submission, and if you have any questions, please let me know. This is like a real life case, so those of you in Kiribati, you can put your own name on Kiribati Hotel, or in Samoa, Tonga, Solomon Islands, etc., Vanuatu. All right, so please do your best, and presentation is also very important. All the best, and we'll see you again for lab 2. Thank you.